Do you hate ads? I hate ads. You know what I love? Patreon.com/inkdependence, where patrons get access to a patron-only Discord, ad-free videos, and the joy of knowing they help support this channel. Hello folks, welcome to Inkdependence. I'm Mike, and this is an ink from Kobe. These are made for Kobe, which is a really nice pen shop in Japan by Sailor, and they usually come with a number. This is number 69 there, and that is pretty well the only indication of what this ink is. And so I always make a little label and put it on the top. This is number 69, Kikusui Biotope, which is a pretty darn cool. So let's take a look at the bottle, which looks like this, a standard Sailor bottle here. It does not, however, have the little ink well on the inside that you have to take out with pliers, and that is nice. As you can see, this is a really interesting green color, and I've been using this for a while, and I really like it. So let's take a look at it on some paper. Here it is on my Nebula Casual Note, and look at this ink. So I've been using this Casual Note for a little while for reviews, and I really like it, and it is really good for showing off things like sheen and shading. And look at the sheen on this ink. It is silver. I've never had an ink sheen silver as far as I know, but definitely you get some silver sheen from this ink, not just in swatches, but also in the writing itself. So that is very neat. As you can see, it is a really nice sort of, I don't know, yellowish green, I'm going to say this one is. The flow, great. I have no complaints about the flow of this. I've had it in two pens. One of them is this here King of Pen, which is a Christmas spice tea, and I really like it in this pen. I keep trying to make myself refill this pen with something else, and maybe I'll succeed this time. I'm on the absolute last drops. You can see there's a little drop there maybe of this ink left, but it has been amazing in this awesome King of Pen nib. So, you know, really good form on that. And I've also had it in, it was a Conklin word gauge, which I have since put other inks in and that sort of thing. So I don't have that here for you, but it was really nice in that one as well. And that one's just, I think, a medium nib. So really nice. Shading, silver sheen, performance, a little bit of minor feathering and some bleeding on the 20 pound. Nothing weird, just, you know, pretty standard stuff for that bad paper. Audrey bought this ink for me at the San Francisco Pen Show a year ago or so, and she just knew that I would like this weird swampy kind of green color, although it's not exactly swamp green. It's kind of a, I don't know, maybe an algae kind of green. There's algae in swamps. I don't know, maybe it's swampy and I'm just trying to church it up. I don't know. These are 50 ml bottles like this, and they go for $30 usually. However, I'll tell you a secret. If you play the odds and take some risks when you go to a pen show, if you wait until the very last day of an American pen show, sometimes Kobe will have like a 2-for-1 sale, and then woo, you can kind of go ham on those. And I have a lot of these Kobe inks to show you now. You can also find them in the US. Places like Vanness and such will have them. So let's take a look at our water test, our chromatography, and then other papers and inks. Right off the bat, it's not looking great. I'm seeing a lot of green come up here, but I am still seeing some of the underlying dots and lines and such. So let's go ahead and mop this up real quick. Let's see what is left. I kind of think something's going to, yeah, a little something left. Wow, look at that. All that green really came off there. Kind of a yellowy green came up. All right, so this is interesting. You see this sometimes with these inks that have sort of like a base color in them that will stick around. This one has a gray base, it seems, and you definitely see this this gray tone there. I think if you poured your water on this and then mopped it up reasonably quickly, you would lose the green, but you'd be able to recover what you wrote, and that is pretty good. I wouldn't say it's water resistant exactly, but like kinda water resistant. I don't know. It's at least salvageable. Now I do have two chromatography samples here for you, because this was done on my usual coffee filter stuff, and so I've since lost all these coffee filters, and I can't find more bleached number 4 cone filters. They're just like really rare for some reason. So I've gone to chromatography strips, and this was one of the ones I was doing when I was testing this new method out. And you can see it doesn't travel as far, and the colors are kind of compacted, but you do get all the same colors, and sometimes they're a little bit stronger, which is interesting. So that gray base is definitely still there on both of those, and the orange and the light green and the dark green are all still there, just kind of different looks for that. But that's Kobe 69. Looks pretty good and would be salvageable, I think, if you poured your water on it. So that's neat. So here it is on my Staples 20 pound 30% recycled copy paper. The first sample up there is from that KOP, that King of Pen medium nib, where you can see a little bit of feathering. You can also see right there, that's some like That's some fingerprint because I had a little hand oil on here. This paper is not great. And then underneath that, just kind of like the last bit of the ink in that Conklin word gauge. I refilled it a couple of times in that word gauge, I think. I really liked it there. I do see definitely some feathers on that one as well. So definitely going to be a little feathery and a little bit bleedy. It's not terrible, but that's definitely a fair amount of bleed for this. Not the best ink to put on this sort of bottom drawer copy paper stuff. Just not the best for this. However, I think that its performance on things like this Mormon croquis paper really kind of make it worth it. This ink is a little bit expensive. It's a little bit hard to get your hands on sometimes. It's not great on copy paper, but it is gorgeous on decent paper. So I say just kind of, use it on the good stuff and you'll be happier. Here's the King of Pen up here. That's the sound of Mr. Nose hunting a lamb chop doll. That's what that is. So it's very kind of lighter and greener and a bit broader up there. And then down here we have the Conklin word gauge sample. And this one is a smaller medium nib, even though it is still a medium. You see the difference between that King of Pen medium and a regular like sort of Yovo style medium here. And it's broader. It's a little bit wetter. Kind of gives you a different tone to the ink. It's not quite as dark. So yeah, pretty darn cool out of both of those. And yeah, this is an ink that will definitely make it on some favorites lists for me for sure.
Just so you know, Mr. Nose caught you something.
I was just telling him about how he caught a lamb chop. We're all very proud of him.
We're going to have lamb chops for dinner.
Delicious lamb chops. All right, so here we have it in my Inky Fingers Currently Ink notebook. This is wheat straw paper, and you can't really find that anymore, but it's pretty similar to sugarcane paper. So you could probably find some of that to get similar performance. Here it is from that King of Pen right there, where it looks really nice. And then, where's the other one? Oh. Weirdly, I only have that one in this book. Well, there you go. That's what it looks like from the King of Pen. And last up here in terms of paper, I have this Galen Everyday book. This is Tomoe River, original Tomoe River in here. And we all know how good that is. Here is that sample there. And it is absolutely gorgeous on the Tomoe River. You definitely get more of that silver sheen off of that from this paper. It's so cool. Green ink with silver sheen. How do you even do that? I don't even know. It seems like magic. And then there it is from the Conklin. A little bit less impressive, I think, just because it doesn't have as much flow as the King of Pen does. But yeah, still a good looking ink, even with a slightly drier nib. Okay, let's look at a few inks that are kind of close together. So this is my Colodex card. You can find these in the link below. And you can see definitely all that cool silver sheen in there, in the writing and in the smear. There's a word gauge writing sample. Interesting. I didn't do the King of Pen. Let's just do that real quick. I think this has darkened up in the pen just a little bit. As I said, I'm on the absolute last drops of it in that King of Pen. But yeah, such a good looking color. You can actually already see the sheen kind of coming out. Really interesting. It definitely has condensed, I think, a little bit in that nib, but that's totally okay. It looks great that way too. I should have done this after I did all this so I could let it dry, but whatever. We're gonna live dangerously. There we go. So there's that one. I pulled this one, which is Pannonia Zuldiki, which is Goldfinch. I got this from Shigur Inks back in 2021. And it's a very close color, although definitely I think more yellow in the Zuldiki. Also, here is Kyonoto Kokiro, which is a really interesting kind of greenish goldish color. It's definitely coming off more green here than I think of Kokiro being. And then lastly, I think this is pretty close. This is Bungo Box 88, which is green tea. This one's more green. It's got more of an olive sort of hue to it than the Biotope or than Zuldiki there. So I'm not really sure which one's the closest, but these are all in the same ballpark, but none of them have this silver sheen. That's singular for that ink. I don't know if I have any others that are like that. So there you go. That's Kobe number 69, Kikusui Biotope. Definitely check this one out if you get a chance, if you like these weirdo, swampy kind of greens that are also kind of fresh algae looking. I don't know. I really like it. So that's all I got for you. Until next time, peace out.